Greetings, Internet. Welcome to Aaron Plays, and I hope you're doing fantastically well. This is me continuing Iron Helm, the card-driven dungeon-bashing game. Now, in the last episode, I went through and I did Nanoc the Barbarian. Now, he completed the core dungeon, just. He fought the Lich, just. He encountered, in fact, the spider that attacked him in the first level was probably more dangerous than the Lich at the end, but we got there. He went out the dungeon and has now decided to return to continue, and he's going to go on to a second level dungeon. And for this, I've taken Galnok's, there we go, Galnok's Labyrinth. Not played this one before, so this is going to be interesting. And we know who the villain is. It's Galnok, as it's his dungeon. I also thought to add a little bit of spice, which I've got the iron box, whatever it's called, iron cabinet, the expansion, iron chest, there we go. I thought I would use the Iron Helm, relics and realms. So what does this all add? Well, first of all, going back on Nanoc, he completed the dungeon. He had 5 cards I didn't use of enemies, which is experience points. In this expansion with Galnok in it was a lovely little, let me get it for you, little skill. So I spent his 5 skill points and he's now got 6 sense, which basically means once per dungeon you may either avoid an ambush or reveal both dungeon cards and choose one to resolve. I like that. I like both of those. That goes with his magic ring. So he is a big hulking barbarian, but he likes to avoid combat if he can and save himself with a lower level, shall we say? Anywho, he's got 18 health still. That's all back up to tops. He's got these 12 stamina. For some reason, he can't carry very much, but I suppose he has to have a weakness somewhere. He's got nothing to carry on, has he? He's in a loincloth and that's about it. And he's also still not very clever. He only has 1 ration with him. And, well, it starts him with 3 gold here. He actually only has 1 gold remaining. As I'm playing this in campaign mode, he carries over what he had. Now, what does Galnok's Labyrinth bring to the party? There are a few cards that are in the plots and such forth, so I'll go through it. And it says, as the moon rises in the sky and the howls of nightmare creatures linger in the air, you find yourself at the entrance of a cave. Maybe a good place to take a little rest. Yeah. Okay, it then tells me what cards to remove. So it says remove the following cards from the base game and replace them with cards found in this adventure pack. So I've got to remove Orc Warriors. I'm not encountering any Orcs, Goblins, Wolves or Fishmen. They're gone. And it also tells me to remove 3 plots. And I've put 3 new plots in there and there's new bad boys in there. There was a few extra loot cards and there wasn't any potions. There were some extra trappings, but I haven't got the money to buy those with. So it then gives me a nice little map, but I'm using the map which has got a level 2 because I'm having the random events and such forth. The realms and relics, which I'm using, it says adding this pack to the game will allow you to add environment cards. So each dungeon level has its own environment, which has pluses and minuses, of course. At the beginning of each level, draw an environment card and read it to understand how the level is changed. Never played with these before, so this is all new to me too. Okay, adding environment cards will increase the overall difficulty of the dungeon. He just got through against the Lich, but let's see how it goes. This pack also includes artifact cards. These are powerful and valuable loot cards. Because of this, it is difficult to obtain many of them. When instructed to draw a loot card during the game, you may pay blessing tokens to draw from the artifact deck instead. Could be useful. Your first artifact will cost 1 blessing token, while your second will cost 2, and so on. Now, the blessing tokens were what got him through the last dungeon. So we'll have to see, because blessing tokens, every time he has a plot and he proves his morality, he gets a blessing token. Other things give blessing tokens too. So that's the new stuff we're going to try. So let's go down the map. It's not really a map, is it? Let's go to the dungeon. He's at the cave entrance. Let's go and see what's going on. Okay, so here it is. Now, if you've not seen any of my other videos on this particular game, this is a mat you can get which has there's 2 portions of it, the actual dungeon mat, and you've also got another mat here. This all can be got from the Iron Helm people. As I mentioned in some videos, can be quite expensive in the UK, but I think it's definitely worthwhile getting. So I've got all the gubbins here, trappings. This is my dungeon level. There's my dude. He's on the morality track, and he's already 2 on the morality track because of something he picked up from the Lich, which was this keepsake. While the keepsake is in your inventory, you gain 2 morality. So he's already on the path to righteousness, so we say. And I am playing this guy as a good guy. He will choose the better options which he gets. So the first thing I've got to do is shuffle this deck up. This is the action deck, if you want to, the dungeon itself. There are a total of 16 cards in there, and I get to choose. Well, I put 2 out. 1, 2, and I get to choose one of them, and only one. Sometimes it does allow me to choose the second option, as that 6th Sense said. Also, if I don't like the first option, I can choose the second option, but I've got to take the second lower level, and I'll explain that as we go through. So I'm going to put the boss over here. We know who we're encountering. It's just when we encounter him. That's the question. Right. Without any furthers, let's delve in. I'm going to turn this card over. Okay. So I've got option 1, which is a skirmish. You draw your weapon and are ready for battle. Draw an enemy card and add the dungeon level +2 to their health. Or I can choose to ignore this and go to this, but then I'll look at the lower option. You can see there's 2 options here. I tell you what, I don't mind a skirmish early in the game, as they gain me experience points. So let's do that. I draw an enemy, and we're encountering a Morlock. So on here, there are various values and such on. So 5 is his health, and it says add 2 to the health. So he's actually got 7 health. This is the damage he does. That's how much loot I gain, and this is the kind of enemy. You may discard a torch or use a lamp to defeat the Morlock before taking initial damage. Unfortunately, I don't have any of those. We've entered into a cave, and all of a sudden, there's a bad boy. That's not very nice, is it? So he's got 5 + 2 for the level. He's got 7 hit points, which I denote with that. Okay, and the bad boys, unfortunately, always strike first. Already made a mistake. Okay, it's add 2 plus the dungeon level. We are level 1 dungeon, so he's actually got 8. If I can find an 8 on this thing. There you go. He's got 8 hit points. Now, and I also said the statement that they always attack first. There are sometimes notable exceptions which allow you to attack first as well. Like in this case, I would have done Mortlock if I had a light source, but I don't. Okay, so where the enemies attack, they roll 2 of these bad boys. Okay, and I need a dice cup. Where's my dice cup? I didn't bring it down. Let me pause for a second. How can I not have a dice cup? There's a dice cup. There we go. All right. So we roll 2 of these red dice. And the difference between the 2 is how much damage it does plus that 2 there. And if they roll doubles, they've missed completely. Like that. Whoa! Good job I'm not playing ASL at the present moment. Something had just broken. Okay, so they did nothing. So it's over to me now. And my attack is dependent on how much. So I've got a Warhammer. Okay, it says +3 to some of your attack roll versus undead enemies. Are Mortlocks undead? I don't think they are. I'll have to look at that symbol and determine. Hold on there. No, definitely not undead. So the Morlock is not an undead, so my Warhammer is not going to do any extra damage onto him. So +3 to the sum of your attack rolls versus undead enemies. Okay, so I'm rolling 2 dice. Well, actually, it's up to me how many dice I want to roll. The more energy I put into it, that's my stamina. That's over here. Okay. Each one of those allows me to roll 1 dice. Now, he's got 8. The average on 2 dice is 7. So I think I'm going to put 3 stamina into this. 1, 2, 3. That gives me 3d6 to roll. And hopefully that is enough to take him out. Okay. And we roll, well, we roll an 11 on 2 dice. So that's 12. So that takes the Morlock, not, where do I get Mort? That's maybe why I thought he was undead. Morlock out. He's got 1 loot, so I will draw that now. And I found a long sword. Die results of 6 deal an extra point of damage. Not bad. Primary hand. I'll carry that. I could maybe sell it. Now, I've got 6 carrying capabilities written on the card. I'm carrying 4 at the present moment, which is 3 for the Warhammer, 1 for the bum bag, which is carrying 3 other items. So that's 4. And now that sword takes me up to full capacity. So hopefully we'll find a shop early enough that I can sell some of this stuff. Okay. The other thing is, he's now through that first cave entrance, and we will determine what the environment is in this dungeon. We've got these cards here, so let's give them a quick shuffle. There we go. And the Death Grotto. That's a good start, isn't it? A chill runs up your spine as you find yourself in the murky catacombs, lined with the lost souls of the distant past. Anything in red is a negative. All undead enemies on this level add +2 to their damage during combat. You may not resolve the altar card on this level. That's not nice. When drawing a plot card, draw 2 and pick 1 to resolve. So it's in white, it's a positive. All undead enemies on this level that you defeat gain you an additional gold. Interesting. I've got to remember that. I should have drawn that before the first dungeon. I even talked about it before the first encounter. I didn't. Say Levy. We've got it now. I was saying that's the cave entrance, and he's gone through it, and we're going in. Right, so 1 enemy down, but unfortunately 3 stamina down. Drawing 2 cards. I pick 1 of those. Let's go this side this time, shall we? Okay, it's an ambush. So, option 1, you catch your foe by surprise and gain the upper hand. Draw an enemy card and ignore their initial damage. Add the dungeon level to their health. Or I can use my 6th sense to avoid it. Because if I look at this other card and it's another ambush, it's option 2. But let's do that because it could be a good thing. It's a campsite. Okay, you espied a relatively quiet location to set up camp. You will not be long before you attract attention to yourself. Choose one of the following actions. 1. Spend 1 ration to gain 3 energy, or search to gain 1 ration, or rest. Spend 1 ration to gain 2 health and lose a poison. Well, I'm not taking any damage yet. I think he will gain 1 ration by searching, because that was the one thing he was short of, wasn't it? Was rations. So he fixed that into his bum bag, and that's that done. So yeah, sometimes. Now, if I had drawn another ambush, that's when I'd use my 6th sense. You see? Right, carrying on. Still delving down. We went that one. Let's go this one this time. It's a skirmish. You draw your weapon and are ready for battle. Yeah, okay, let's see what we get this time, shall we? Let's see what we get this time. Right, it's an undead archer. Okay, so we have found some undead, and this is where this now kicks in. All undead enemies on this level add +2 to their damage during combat. All right, so he's striking first. So he's got 4 health, plus, as we're in a skirmish, you draw your weapon and draw an enemy card and add the dungeon level +2 to their health. So they are at 4, plus the basic, that makes it to 7. And then, because of the Death Grotto, takes that to 9. So he's quite a bit pokey, isn't he? Then, you may not defend against initial damage, so I can't use my parry. So he's using his bow. Rolling the 2 dice. Remember, there's a difference between the 2. Well, it's a difference of 1. Okay, 6 taken by 5 is 1. Plus 2 is 3. He doesn't do any... no, he doesn't... all undead enemies on this level +2 to their damage during combat. Not 2 to their health. Maybe I should read these cards. All right. 2 is damage. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 damage. And that comes straight off my hearts here. So I lose 5, I take 5 damage. There's nothing I can do about that. It's an arrow sticking in a little Nanoc. Okay. Wow. Bit rude. Okay. Now he's undead. We're going to go in with a Warhammer. Now, he's only got 7, plus 3 to the sum of your attack rolls versus undead enemies. So I'm going to use 2 stamina. So that gives me 2d6. And let's see what we get. 2d6 plus 3 for the Warhammer. That's enough to take out the skeleton. He gone. Right. Now, it also says when you're drawing a plot card, all undead enemies on this level that you defeat gain you an additional gold. So he gains me 1 gold. So I actually found another gold on him. So I've got 3 gold total. Plus I can draw from the loot. And we get a ration. You may discard this card to regain 2 energy. I can't carry it, so I might as well eat it right now. Pack of sandwiches. Very useful. Thank you very much. So we'll take that down there. Restores 2 energy. Probably a bit stale, but who cares? Let's move on. Right, so that's those 2 gone. So we got some undead. Next 2 cards. There's 16 of these cards in total, so that's 8 rooms to a level, if you want to put it that way. We drew that last time, so let's draw this one. What we get now? Another skirmish. Okay, I want something nicer than a skirmish. A labyrinth, and that means I've got to take option 2 on the labyrinth. Drat, you cannot seem to find your way out. Discard 2 rations. Lose 3 health for each ration you cannot discard. It giveth, it taketh away. I've only got 2 rations. They're both gone. Should have taken option 1, Bob. Darn it. Oh well. It could have been something nice, but it wasn't. It wasn't. Right, drawing the next 2. Okay. We took that last time. I'll take this one this time. An ambush. Right, we're going there. I don't want an ambush. Treasure. Option 2. This chest must have been stocked with goods recently. Draw 1 loot card and 1 potion card. Okay, 1 loot card. We find a grave stomper and 1 potion card. We find an antidote. You may discard this card. Right, so we are now getting to I've got to make some active decisions in what I can carry. Now, this can fit in my bag. Okay, but I've only got 3 items that I can carry in there. And the Grave Stomper, which is when fighting an undead enemy, you roll doubles, add 4 to the sum of your attack. That's not as good as the Warhammer. And it's worth 4 gold, which is exactly the same as the longsword. I can't carry it, can't take it. Now the antidote, what a decision. What a decision, because I've got 4 items I can carry. 3 items I can carry, but I've got 4 that I want. I want to keep me field guide, gives me more food. I can avoid an ambush. That gives me morality. But that might save me from poison. What to choose? What to choose indeed. Okay, I'm discarding the longsword. Don't want the longsword anyway. So I will put the keepsake in me belt, and they all stay. So I've now got the potion in me little knapsack. Okay, which means I've got 3, 4, 5 on my carrying capacity. Okay, useful. Delving on. Oh, I turned it over. Why did I do that? I don't know. All right, that would have been the card I turned over, so I'm ignoring the ambush and going further. We find the altar, but the altar, as it says, when you may not resolve the altar card on this level. So nothing happened. We found the altar. It's been desecrated by this nasty Galnok. And we carry on down. Right, don't peek at them beforehand. And I'll draw this one this time. Mushroom Grove. We like the Mushroom Grove. You have located a grove of young mushrooms. Gain 1 ration. But, my field book, gain an additional ration whenever you enter the Mushroom Grove. So those 2 that are lost in the labyrinth, I've regained. Useful. Okay. And then the final room of this level. Let's turn that one over. Arrow Trap. Your curiosity with a ruby eye statue comes at a cost. Gain 1 poison token. I think we'll look at that. So it'll be option 2 on this card. I find the merchant. I sold the sword too early, didn't I? Draw loot and potion cards based on the dungeon level you are on to form the shop. Level 1, 1 loot, 1 potion. So this is what he's got to sell. Why there's a guy down here deep in the dungeon seems like a strange place to set up shop, but you are on the. Are you here to question his sanity? You may make a purchase from the merchant. The merchant will buy unwanted items from you for 1 gold each, so you don't get the full value. Right. Got the mimic. Well, you wouldn't get a mimic in the actual shop, would you? So let's shuffle that back in and draw a loot. Mask of Mislev. Okay, so this is one of the things that you get in this actual pack. It's got this symbol on it, which shows it's from this pack. You may avoid conflicts with any undead enemy with a base health of 4 or less. Now that costs 4. I've only got 3 money. So I could sell an item, or we've got an energy potion. Cost of 1. You may discard this card to gain 2 energy. You know what? I think I'm going to take that. I've got 1 space to carry it, so we'll stick that. It can't go in the knapsack, so we'll stick that in his belt. Excellent. So we're now up to full capacity. Should I drink that now, before I delve down further into the entry? You may discard this card to gain 2 energy. In fact, he'll drink that straight away to get 2 of these points back. All right, and that is that. Done. So let me just shuffle these up, ready for level 2. We didn't encounter any plot points, did we? The dungeon will go until we've used 10 plot points. So we're going into level 2 here. I've got to do a random die roll as I go down. Sure, that's what it means. Done that off camera. All right, I'm not going to count that one. Right. Right. Here's a die roll. So I roll a 6. Okay, what does that actually mean? Okay, so this is where I've got this random encounters card. Yeah, so on a 6, it says roll a 6-sided die and refer to the dice icons on this card to resolve the corresponding result. If you roll a 6, re-roll and refer to the following results. Okay, so I rolled a 6, and I've got to roll again to see what I get. Okay, I've got a 1. Falling rocks, lose 3 health. Great. So as he goes down deeper, he loses 3 health. Not nice. Not very nice at all. Okay, so that completes the Death Grotto level of the dungeon. As he goes down into the 2nd level, let's see what environment he encounters this time, which is the Sanctum. A sense of calm rushes into your spirit as your eyes behold a majestic oak in a clearing. Okay, immediately gain a blessing token. Good start, like that one. I don't know what this is until I need to reveal it at some point. If you resolve the treasure card on this level, you gain a potion in addition to any other reward. If you resolve the altar on this level, you gain 3 health in addition to any other reward. All enemies on this level that you defeat gain you an additional blessing token on top of any other reward. Wow, that's good. I like that. Something positive in the dungeon. Okay, let's continue the delve, shall we? So we've shuffled the cards, we've got the enemies, we've got the treasure. Don't think there's anything else to do. So we just draw 2 and we'll pick that one. We start off with an ambush. Okay, all enemies on the level that you defeat gain you an additional blessing token on top of any other reward. Well, it's sort of encouraging me to take these bad boys on, isn't it? It's saying, you know, these need to be dealt with, so we will draw an enemy card. It's a zombie, so it's an undead. Excellent. I'll stick him there for the moment, shall we? Right. Zombies do not attack and do initial damage, so I actually get to attack him first. Right. So all enemies on this level, so the amount of hit points he's got is 2 plus, now we did an ambush, draw an enemy card and ignore their initial damage anyway. Add the dungeon level to their health. So the dungeon level is now level 2, so they've got only 4 health. That's it, isn't it? So it's an ambush. Yeah, that's all they get, because we've technically ambushed it. So he's got 4 health. Right. How much energy to put into this? Oh dear. I'm getting +3 because of the Warhammer against undead. So zombie is a bit of an easy kill. Should be, because I can only roll a 1. I do roll a 1. I use 1 stamina with a 1. +3 is enough to take out the zombie. All right. Unfortunately, he's got no gold. He has got loot though, so I draw a loot, okay, which is a lamp. Now we can't, once per dungeon level you may reveal both dungeon cards and choose one. Useful, but not as useful as what I've already got. Okay, we also, because we smited the undead, gain a blessing thanks to this sanctum. All enemies of this level that you defeat gain you an additional blessing on top of their reward. So he's now got 3 there. All right, so that was the ambush dealt with, and we don't know what that card is. Drawing 2 again. This time we'll look at this one. It's an arrow trap. I think we want to avoid the arrow trap, so let's have a look at this. It's that merchant again. Okay, so we're now level 2. He's got 2 loot and 1 potion. He's got an emerald and a health potion. That isn't the loot. And holy water. Okay, I'm going to buy the health potion off him. 1 gold. And with that, I'm going to drink it straight away. That's a potion and an emerald. Because we can't really carry it, so we put something down temporarily, the magic ring or something. Well, magic ring weighs a point, but there we go. And then he drinks that. He may discard to gain 4 health. So he gets 4 of his health back, which he was looking a little bit on the low side. So I've just taken 4 from here onto there. Okay. And then that's discarded from the loot. Gone. Thank you, Mr. Merchant. As we delve further. Drawing the next 2 cards, and this time I'll turn this one over. It's a skirmish. Well, because of the sanctum, we've got to deal with these bad boys. So it's an enemy. Oh, Death Seer. This is a new one. Again, it's this symbol here. So this one's replacing the orcs and such forth. Again, undead. The Death Seer is immune to potions. Fair enough. Right, so he's got 7 health. Plus, we're in level 2, so he's got 9 health. So he's a little bit stronger than what we've encountered first. And he attacks us first. It's got nothing there. It says, draw an enemy card and add the dungeon level +2 to their health. Actually, so dungeon level 2 +2. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay. That's the difference with a skirmish. It's a straight up fight. So, his attack. The difference between these 2 dice, 6 and 5 is 1, so he does 1 plus the 2 that's on here, so it takes him to 3 damage on me. 3 wounds. That's pretty much that health potion used up. Okay, now we smack him. 2 energy. Yeah, he's got 11 hit points. We're going to use 3 dice. That uses up 3 energy. Okay. Okay, I'm so keen to get the new stuff in, I forgot the old stuff. When he went down, his belly starts rumbling now. He should have consumed a ration between each level. So I've just consumed that. That was from when he went down from first level to second level. There's a few steps. I did everything apart from giving the ration. Anyway, he's smacking this guy with 3 dice. He's putting a lot of energy into it. And he does +3 damage because of the Warhammer, because he's an undead guy. Okay, 6, 7, 8, +3. Whew, just enough to take out the Death Seer. Okay, he's got 2 loot cards on him, plus a gold. Now it says on there, doesn't it? If you resolve the altar on this level, you gain 3 health. No. All enemies on this level you defeat, you gain an additional blessing token on top of other rewards. So he gets a blessing for taking him out. Plus he gets the gold. And then 2 loot. Holy Water. You may discard this card to heal 2d6 damage. +5 damage to an undead. So, okay, he drinks that straight away, I think. Yeah. You may discard this card to deal 2d6, not heal, deal, and +5 damage to the undead. Ah, deal, not heal. Cookbook, gain 1 extra energy when you eat ration at the campsite. Oh, he's got a field guide. He can't carry it all. Oh man. So the holy water, is that better than the antidote? I think so. So he drops the antidote. This is when he gets poisoned, isn't it? That's the way the game's going to work. But hey-ho. Can't take the cookbook. No. And he's got another to add to his experience. Okay. That's that done. Moving on. Let's do this one now. Mushroom Grove. You locate a grove of young mushrooms. Gain 1 ration. And because he's got the field book, the field guide, he gains another one. So I've now got 3 rations. He's never felt so lucky. Okay. So that's them 2 done. Moving in and on. Yeah, let's turn that one over. Oh, it's a skirmish. All right. Let's draw another enemy. It's a pit trap. What an enemy. If resolving an ambush card that was drawn as the first card, you avoid the pit trap. In all other cases, you lose d6 minus d6 health. So we're on 2d6, effectively the difference between the 2. Ah, not good. Oh, he loses 5 health. Ow! Wow. Well, I just said he's not the brightest spark in the dungeon, didn't I? Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Not good. Carrying on. I'll try this one this time. Labyrinth. Okay. Surely your cunning will see you out of here, Wizard's Maze. Discard 1 ration. If you have no ration, no. We'll try this card. Right, it's an ambush. So that would be the second one. This is where our 6th sense will now come into effect. Once per dungeon level, you may either avoid an ambush or reveal both dungeon cards. She will say, let's avoid the ambush. So nothing happens there. We're just about to be ambushed and she goes, woo! She. The picture's the she. He. Let's not go there. Okay. Campsite. Right, what's the campsite? Does it give me anything bonus? You resolve treasure on this level, you gain a potion in addition to any other rewards. I forgot about that one. If you resolve the altar, no, all enemies on this level, yeah, I've been getting that one. Okay. cook. Spend 1 ration to gain 3 energy. Gain 1 ration. Spend 1 ration to gain 2 health and lose 1 poison. He hasn't got any poison. He's running a bit low on health, but he's also running a bit low on energy. So he'll cook. If we kept the cookbook, we'd have got more from that. But spend that to gain 3 energy. There we go. Can't go above his original maximum, but we still haven't had a plot point yet, have we? Ah, okay. That's a good point. We haven't had a plot point. Right. Skirmish. Let's have a look at this one. See, it's skirmish, but we've now got skirmish 2. You're taken off guard and stumble for your weapon. Draw an enemy card and add the dungeon level +4 to their health. Oh, this is one of the new ones as well. A floating skull. Defeating the floating skull will move you up 1 on the morality track. Okay, so it's got 5 health, but because I was drawing an enemy card and add the dungeon level +4 to their health. So dungeon level's 2. And add 4, that's 6. 6 plus 5 is 11. Okay. And it attacks me first. And, ooh, it's the difference between the 2 dice. So that's 5 plus 2, 6, 7 damage. I've got 1 health remaining. Ouch. Okay, I'm going to have to chuck holy water at it, aren't I? You may discard this card to deal 2d6 damage plus 5 damage to the undead. Because if it hits me again, oh, he's gone. 2d6 plus 5. 5 plus 5 is 10. He's got 1 left. Oh dear, I think I'm going down. I think I'm going down. Okay. Okay, so I need him to roll doubles here. Because he attacks now. If he rolls doubles, it's a miss. I have got parry. Why didn't I try and parry? Okay, I could have tried to parry last time. I didn't. Too much to think about. Here we go. Magic fingers. Okay, let's try and parry that because otherwise I'm dead. All right, 5 or a 6 to parry. You lucky, lucky bastard. Okay, I blocked the parry. He's got 1 point left. I don't have to use any energy. I'll just bop it on the nose to finish it off. Wow. Defeating the floating skull will move you up 1 on the morality track. Well, great. Okay. He's undead. If you resolve the altar on this level, no. All enemies on this level that you defeat gain you an additional blessing token. So he gains a blessing token. It has no gold. It has 1 loot. What do we gain? Can I have something that heals? Fate coin. When you're asked to draw a plot card, discard the fate coin to draw 2 plot cards. Pick one and discard the other. And it's got no weight, so I can have that. Wow, that was tough. Which then finishes that level. Okay. Okay, so first thing is I'm going down to level 3. I'm shuffling these cards here. We haven't revealed the plot card yet, which happens when you go through the clearing. So normally the way the game you get to see the boss is if you go down, you get 10 plot points. But as we're now going down to level 3, okay, we've got like, it looks like a trap symbol there. So what actually happens there? Okay. Not mushrooms. Roll a single 6-sided dice. Gain die and refer to the following results. 1, gain 2 poison. 2 to 4, gain 1 poison. 5, 6, gain no poison. Great. 5, 6, gain no poison. Whew. Got lucky again. Gets to level 3. So it will also end if I get down to level 5. as well. But without any plot points, I don't get so many bonuses when I do encounter the big boy. So, okay, moving on. Then, finish the level. Shuffle the dungeon deck, just done. Feed your character by discarding 1 ration token. If you do not have any rations, he does have rations. He's got 2. He's now got 1 remaining. He has no poison. Advance the pawn. Draw the top plot card and resolve it. Coupled with a clearing card in the dungeon, this final step can allow for a total of 2 plot cards to be resolved per level. I'm going to resolve 2. Miss that. As I say, trying to get the new stuff in, you forget the old stuff. So resolve the first plot card from the first level. Okay. The looking glass. As you approach the clearing, you see another walking in your direction. You quickly realize that you are gazing into a mirror that covers an entire wall. You put your hand to it and your hand pushes through. Walk into the looking glass. You slowly pass into the mirror and feel a strange breeze pass by you. Roll d6 and resolve. Okay, let's have a look. I've got a choice. Walk through the looking glass or ignore the reflective wall. You climb over some jagged rocks and find an exit. Lose 1 energy. You come through the other side and are face to face with an enemy. Draw and resolve an enemy card. You come through the other side and you feel slightly larger. You may add 1 to your max encumbrance. Useful. Discard the next 4 cards in the dungeon deck without looking at them in between levels. Okay, well let's do this. 4. You come through the other side and feel slightly larger. You may add 1 to your maximum encumbrance. Now, I'm not sure if that is a permanent maximum or if it's just for this dungeon, but let's say it's just for this dungeon. So he's still got 6 that he's carrying. So, right, and that's 3 plot points. I thought it seemed a bit easy. Right, the corpse. You trip over the corpse of a fellow adventurer. As you stagger to your feet, you realize the body belongs to a friend from the years past. Bury the corpse. You decide the best way to pay tribute to your friendship is a proper burial. Lose 1 energy, move 1 up on the morality track. As I say, he's a good guy. I'm not doing the bad guy stuff. So he loses an energy, but moves 1 up on the morality track. He's on 4 morality. Okay, so that's 2 plots resolved, and that's 4 plot points. Oh, there we go. See, you're trying to bring new stuff in, and you forget the old stuff. Draw the top plot, yeah, done all that. Plots and morality. Okay, so that's those first 2 levels done. He's down to 1 health. So I might as well push on. I can't see him getting beyond this. Can you? He's got 1 health. You need something to steer him forward. So I was going to do 2 levels, but it could be the shorter second video, so we might as well push on. I've got to remember to use his skills, parry and such forth. Right, 2 cards. Dungeon level 3. Okay. And we've got to remember the old stuff now. So new environment, and this time it's the Frost Glen. Your breath turns to frozen mist and your skin tightens as you enter a vast frozen valley. All enemies on this level that are weak to fire add 2 to their damage during combat. You may not search for food when at the campsite, and the mushroom grove does not contain rations. Great. If you resolve the treasure card on this level, you gain an additional potion. All enemies on this level that you defeat that are weak to fire gain you an additional gold. Okay. Wow. Right, so ambush. I need to avoid combat, so let's turn that over. Skirmish. Oh, blimey heck. Oh well, as I said, it could be. You see, an ambush I can avoid with my magic ring, but I can't avoid a skirmish. All right, you are taken off guard and stumble forward. It's a skinkling. Right, when this skinkling successfully hits, gain 1 poison token. Okay, so we're in dungeon level 3. So under a skirmish, he's got health-wise +4 so for the level. So the level is Level 3, so he gets 3 for that, plus 1, another 7, plus 1. He's got 8 health. So he's not got a lot of health, but he is attacking first. Okay, so rolling the 2 dice. We've only got 1 health, remember. We need him to miss. That's the same number, doubles. He's doing 4 damage. He's going to kill me, this little skinkling, unless I can parry it. Using my parry. Come on. 5, here's my parry skill. 5 or 6, you avoid damage. The skinkling takes out Nanoc, the Barbarian. Well, that didn't last long. Well, I suppose it did. It got through 1 episode. So let's bring this back up to the top as we mourn our fallen hero. Took out a Lich, and then it's taken out by one of those. I mean, Skinkling, in other games that would be called a kobold. I'd call it a git. A few little errors made there overall. Trying to bring new stuff in, you've got to remember the old stuff too. But in the end, we did it all. We got there, and he died. So I'll have to start back at the core dungeon. But I do like these environments. That was quite thematic. I did like those. I have no idea what Galnok's like. So I'll take another hero in another adventure, in another episode. And I'll start the core dungeon, but probably bring these environments into it. And yeah, and then come back and try and take Galnok on with a new hero if he gets that far. I hope you enjoyed that. I did, even though it was unsuccessful. These things happen. They should have parried the first attack. Anyway, doesn't matter. It's done. Galnok's gone. On to the next hero. If you enjoyed that, give us a thumbs up. It all helps the channel. Subscribe if you haven't done so already and you like what I do. Any comments? As I say, there was a few little errors made there, but I think they were all corrected. If you haven't got this game and you can get hold of it, get it. I can't recommend it enough. It is fun and it doesn't take too long, and it's one of the few games at the present moment I can get onto a table and actually play with the real bits. But until next time, play games, have fun. Bye, Internet.